Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Urban, and it has been 4 long months since I made my last full-length commentary. If you tuned in last night, I posted a video basically announcing my return. And today, with this video right here that you're watching, I'm coming back to YouTube. I'm going to be commentating full-time, hopefully, every other day, every day, making videos, doing gameplay, all that kind of stuff, pumping out the content for you guys. And one thing, well, more than a few things you guys are probably wondering right now. You probably want to know where I've been. You might want to know what I've been doing, and I also want to talk about why I decided to come back to YouTube, because that's a big deal. What was my motivation behind coming back? So, to start off, I'm going to talk about why I left. To be concise, to say it in the easiest way possible, I felt like my channel wasn't really going anywhere. With so many people on YouTube these days, there's so many hundreds and hundreds, thousands really, thousands and thousands of gaming commentators. And on top of that, you have, I don't even know the count of videos on YouTube. It's huge. It's gotta be huge. It's gotta be like millions, honestly. And then, with so many popular commentators out there these days, little commentators like myself, you kind of get lost in it. You kind of get lost in the cacophony of commentating. With so much out there, most people flock to the bigger guys to watch their stuff, rather than the smaller channels where, for the most part, you get a little more diversity. You get a little bit more uniqueness, I guess is the right word to say. You end up with something unlike what other people usually pump out. Because I don't know. It seems like there are a lot of large commentators out there that really aren't that good, but just because they started early and they gained a larger audience earlier on, they become more popular, so people stick with them. Now, I don't want to say this rudely, and I mean no disrespect to anyone, but there are certain commentators out there that I just flat out don't enjoy. But their gaming style and their skill, let me say, is totally independent of this. And mainly, I feel like one of the big ones is XJaws. He's one guy I don't necessarily enjoy listening to. He seems just a little boring to me. Now, on the 0.001% chance XJaws actually watches this, I don't hate you, I've actually met the guy. I've talked to him on Skype. I used to do work with Game Dunzo. I've had an opportunity to talk to Sam. I've met him, I guess, through the internets. And he seems like a nice guy. But just because of his personality style being so different from mine, I just don't like his videos. But granted, he is a very, very skilled COD player. The kid has definite mad skills, so props to him for that. So, I feel like those bigger channels kind of drown out the smaller channels. I guess that's the thing I just wanted to get to right now. So that's why I stopped. I felt like my subscriber count really wasn't growing, because it wasn't. And school got busier. That's why I left. But just last week, I decided to get on, and I checked out my YouTube channel, and I was like, wow, 290 subscribers. Okay, that's really not a lot, but considering that I left for 4 months and I did nothing, it's kind of interesting, because I'm pretty sure my subscriber count actually grew by at least 60 plus during the period where I left. That's a lot of subscribers considering I did jack shit on my YouTube channel for that long. Like, I didn't touch it, and I'm still growing. So, the idea behind that was, if I'm not doing anything, my YouTube channel's growing. If I start doing stuff, my YouTube channel could grow even more, and I could become even more popular. So why not just go for it, Why not just try? And another thing, now I want to talk about why I came back. So that, granted, was one reason I wanted to come back, is because I want to grow my YouTube channel even more, and I really enjoy making videos. Another interesting thing is your Facebook. Gosh. Your play style actually changes when you're playing for gameplay, rather than just playing for recreation. It makes sense if you think about it. You're gonna play better, and you're gonna try to get better KDs, better kill streaks, all that kind of stuff, when you're playing to show it off, rather than just goofing around. If you're just playing to level up guns and mess around and stuff, heck, no one really wants to see that. A, and B, chances are you're not going to do super fantastic. But on the other side of the coin, if you are gaming to show it off to other people, to turn it into gameplays, that kind of stuff, then you actually really want the gameplay to be quality. You want it to be really good. You want to show it off and, you know, tell other people that, hey, I've got skill, because you don't want to show off any of your stuff if it's garbage. That's just a fact of the matter. And I also got kind of bored. Summer's around, and summer's probably, you know, the one time in the year where you have the most free time. So, YouTube being so fun, and me kind of realizing all of these things, kind of just all added together in the magical leprechaun pot. And out came the outcome of getting back into YouTube. And so, before I left, I started the series Final Recommendation. If you guys don't know what that is, it's myself giving recommendations on the best setups for certain guns. Now, it's not applicable to just like assault rifles or subs or any of that. I talk about my favorite weapons, the ones I like. I'm not going to be using like the Dragunov and like all these other like garbage weapons, the KSG, all these weapons I hate. I will be mainly using the weapons I like the most, because I can talk about them the most. I've had the experience with them. And I recommend the best situations to use them, with the best attachments. My first episode, I did the AK-47. Second episode, I did the UMP, and those both actually turned out really well, actually. I was kind of surprised. The gameplay was good, people seemed to actually enjoy the series, and personally, I feel, I don't know what you guys think, but one of the biggest subcategories of gaming videos on YouTube, I feel, is how to play. People want to know, how do I set up a gun to make it the best gun possible? Every gun is different. What attachments complement the gun's strengths and weaknesses? What proficiencies complement those as well? There are infinite possibilities on like gun setups now, practically. You can set them up in so many hundreds of different ways that you could end up with so many different guns and not realize that you've been using a horrible setup the entire time, while you could have been using a great one. So right now, I'm just going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to do the back in action video with the final recommendation, episode 3, G36C. Yeah! I know you're stoked. So, the G36 is actually most like the SCAR and the M4A1. Those are the two assault rifles that are closest in stats, strengths, and weaknesses to the G36. Something that sets them all apart, I kind of want to talk about, is recoil. So, to start off, let's talk about the M4A1, which is a decent assault rifle. It's the very first one on the list with the M16A4 that you unlock, so you can use it right off the bat in custom classes. The accuracy is quite high. It has low recoil, quite low damage. It's definitely lower than like the SCAR and the G36. It's pretty darn low. But the fact that it's so accurate and has a decent rate of fire makes it a really smart choice. And then with the SCAR has a faster fire rate, but then it has lower damage than the G36C, while it does have higher accuracy than the G36. And then with the G36, you have a fairly steady rate of fire. It's mostly around the SCAR. I don't know exactly where, but it's close. It has higher damage than the SCAR, but then the accuracy is lower. On the stat chart, it says the accuracy is only a bit lower, but in all actuality, the recoil is crazy on the G36. It goes basically from mid-screen if you're doing a full trigger pull. If you just hold the trigger down and just go fully auto, the bullet spread will go straight up. It's basically a line. A lot of people like to put kick on it because of that. But the thing is, with kick, you're only allowed to use one attachment. And if you guys have noticed anything, I'm a silencer guy. I pretty much only play with silencers. Besides shotguns, I use them on every gun. Almost always. So, I want to have the silencer, but the sights suck. So then, you've got to use two attachments. You can definitely use two attachments on this gun and do well. This gameplay is just an example. But you're going to have a harder time with the recoil aspect of it all. Because then you have nothing to counteract, like you would with kick, the high recoil. So, if you're using this gun, with or without kick, you have to learn to burst your shots. You have to learn to do single shots, to pace your shots, to make them shorter, little bursts here and there, kind of like the Type 95 or the M16A4. You have to conserve bullets and that kind of stuff. Because if you go full auto, you're gonna have a rough time. I guarantee it. With the situations to use it in, I would mainly recommend to use it in mid-range situations. Up close, like Dome, or really long situations like Interchange, those are the kind of maps you want to steer clear from with the G36 because of its recoil. The close range, you know, it doesn't have that faster fire rate to back up those close range engagements. And with the longer ones, like I said, it kind of lacks the accuracy. So you're going to do best with it on these closer quarter maps. That's where it's going to shine. And that is the most accurate, best description about the G36 I can give you guys. I'm so stoked to be back. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Please do me a big favor. Hit the subscribe button above. I would totally love it, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright, hey, what's up, guys? If you like this video or any of my older videos, click the subscribe annotation at the top of the screen. If you want to check out my channel and any of my other videos, click the check out my channel button in the middle. And if you want to see my last episode, click the annotation on the bottom. Alright, till next time, guys. Later.